All right, we'll go ahead and get to it. Welcome to some Midday Equipped. Coach Matt here. Weight-wise, I have two different weights. One a little bit heavier, one about a medium weight. I would recommend kind of having those two options, and we could always adjust through the workout if needed. Of course, I have kettlebells here, but if you do have dumbbells and you want to use those, that'll work just fine as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and get warmed up. Get that body ready for some movement. We're going to start with some good mornings. So we're going to take those hands right behind the head, pull those elbows back, squeeze that upper back, and hinge at the hips. Should be getting a nice, good hamstring stretch here. And we're going to squeeze those glutes, drive those hips forward. So working on that hip hinge first and foremost here. Going to be a huge part of the workout today. So I also like to sneak in some of that upper back, some of that postural work as we work on these hinges. Should be working kind of extend those hamstrings a little bit longer, sinking into that hinge a little bit deeper each rep. We'll go two more here. And the last one, good strong stretch. And squeeze those glutes. All right. We're going to hop down onto the ground for some plank position. We're just going to drive those hips up, push that chest towards those toes into a pike or a down dog, and bring it back to plank. So a little bit of shoulder mobility, kind of the same concept as those good mornings. Even get a little bit of that hip hinge still happening, but focus a little bit more on that range of motion of those shoulders. Just kind of really reaching that chest towards those toes, open up the front of those shoulders, and returning back to plank position. We'll go one more time here. Big push. Back to plank and relax. All right, we'll set it up. A little bit more lower body here, some squats. Just kind of get that feel through those knees. Well, my knees are a little bit stiff after sitting for so long today. So a little bit unloaded work here. Just working some squatting. Just priming that pattern. We'll be working on these a little bit today. So make sure that we're sitting those hips back, really grounding our feet through that whole foot. I do like to take that kind of lowering phase a little bit slower and kind of a little bit more explosive on the way up. Just kind of control, see if there's any sticking points in that squat. We'll go one more time. And relax. All right, last one, mobilize here. Some windmills, just promote a little bit different movement through those hips. We're going to take one arm, stick that up in the air. Whatever hand is up, that hip is going to cheat out that way. And we're just going to get a nice, good lateral hinge here, reaching that other arm down the leg and sliding it back up nice and slow. This one's going to be slow all the way through. We'll stay on that same side. We'll do about 3 reps each way. This is a great movement for some mobility of those hips and also just working on the stability of that shoulder pushed up in the air. All right, and make sure we're not lazy with that arm. All right, I want it to be nice and extended. All right, all the way through that elbow. Squeeze those triceps as we switch to that other side. I do like to keep my eyes focused on that hand up top. Just promote a little bit better mobility through that thoracic trunk. Last one here. Nice, smooth, slow down. And ease our way back up. All right, so game plan today, we're going to start with a little kind of skill work. It's going to be a grip strength kind of day, so hopefully you're ready for that. Didn't do any rock climbing last night, so we'll make sure you're good for that. So we will use both of our weights for this first section. We have 2 movements, single arm swings, and some bottoms up press. All right. So our swings, so we're going to take that one with one of those kettlebells, your heavier one. If you need to make adjustments, if your kettlebell is too heavy to swing with one arm, make that adjustment now. But otherwise, we're going to do all on one side, and then we'll do all on the other. So we're going to start out with some swings. I'm going to go ahead and do this first round just a little bit lighter, just so because it's our first round. So we're going to start off with 10 good swings. All right, working on that hinge of those hips, just like we did on those good mornings, on those plank to pikes. I should be feeling pretty good. And I'm just swinging that kettlebell or that dumbbell, whatever you have, to about eye level. And almost like our first round of warm-ups, okay? Next, we're going to go taking your lighter kettlebell, and we're going to taking the bottom of that kettlebell to the ceiling. If you do have just a dumbbell, we can still just do some traditional press, or if you're not, if your kettlebell's a little bit too heavy for you to work, we can do regular press as well, all right? Bottoms up just to offer a little bit more stability here. So, pulling those abs in nice and tight, bottom of the kettlebell to the ceiling, pressing up, we're going 3 on this side. Same hand that you use for the swings. Once you get all 3, we're going to drop that knee to the ground. We're going to do another round of that bottoms up press, but from a half kneeling position. So make sure our knee is under our hip. Our glute is turned on, offering some stability, right? We're not sitting back, but we're sitting up nice and tall. Same arm, same hand, same movement, different base position. So it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge through that core, through that stability, to hold for that press. And notice again, working slowly through that press to really master each section of that movement. All right. Once you get all 3 for both of those positions, we'll switch to the other arm. So I did my right hand swing, right hand press in both positions. I'm going to go for that left hand. 10 swings. And focusing on that hip hinge. Almost like I'm throwing that kettlebell with those hips. Once you get all 10, bottoms up from that standing position. So the reason that we're doing it standing first is we're typically more comfortable in that standing position. We have a little bit more control, a little bit more grounded, which is fine. Getting the feel for that press first. Then once we're kind of primed, we're going to move to that half kneeling. Again, same side. Nice and easy, under control, pressing up. If at any time you need to adjust that weight, right, you can use that other hand to make your adjustments, but just try to press with that one arm, nice and still, all the way up, all the way back down. All right, I'll give you a second to wrap that up, that first round. We're going to do one more round here. I'm going to go to that heavier weight for my swings. I don't think I'm going to press much more than the one I just had, so I'll stick with that one. So we got one more round of this, and then we'll move to some conditioning work. Okay? So I'm going to grab that big boy out there. Again, dumbbells, still do those swings. Probably just refer to the weight as your bell. Could be either one, kettlebell or dumb. All right. First hand, 10 good swings. Should never feel like you're lifting that weight with that shoulder for a swing, but rather you're pushing, throwing that weight with those hips. All right. 10 on there, same hand that we just used for the swings. Like I said, we're really testing that grip strength here. Now we're going to get our 3 presses from the standing position, keeping that core nice and tight. Notice that finished position, We're getting that bicep to our ear, fully extended, just like those windmills, through that elbow, through those triceps, fully extended. When we get to these press, whenever knee is down, that is that's the knee that should be down, the one that is pressing. So we create a nice long line from the top of those fingertips up here to that knee on the ground. 2. Going for a third one, keeping that stability through that whole body. And rest. All right. Quick rest though. We're going to switch over to the other arm for our 10 swings back to that heavier weight. If you're going a little bit faster, a little bit slower than me, that's fine. I'm just trying to keep a good pace that we can keep up with. So we make sure we get all the workout in here in our very compact 25-minute workout. Nice, good midday pick me up. Or if you're watching on demand and it's 8 o'clock at night, good for you. A little before bed, tire you out. Exercise is beautiful, it works in both ways. We'll pick up that weight, same hand that we just did our swings. Last round of presses here, keeping that bottom to the sky. All right, almost lost it at the bottom there. I'm gonna go to that kneeling last 3. We're really gonna focus on keeping that core tight at the bottom and at the top. Make sure that we're bringing that weight down slowly, in control. Got a little sweaty in my hands. I'm gonna reset that rep. I'm not gonna count that one. Last one. All right. Ooh, that was a good one. Take a quick water break. We'll switch gears here. All right. So we're gonna move on to our conditioning phase. So we have 5 different movements. We're gonna do them all in succession. So just like that skill work there, we're gonna stay all on one side, and then we'll go to the other side for all the movements. Okay? I'm gonna use my medium-sized weight here, not the heavy one. So we'll go through each movement one by one here. I'm gonna start with that snatch. Okay? So we're gonna keep that kettlebell in our hand. So rather than starting on the ground, we're going to start with that kettlebell already in our hand, or that dumbbell, okay? So for that snatch, we're going to drop that weight between those hips, all right? Drive those hips up, punch that weight to the sky, all right? So starting again, using those hips to load, driving it to the sky. 1 continuous motion. Notice that weight stays nice and close, all the way up. All right, there's our snatch. Second movement, we're going to add a few more swings, all right? So we've worked on those. Pretty simple, swings. All right, next is going to be our clean and press. So it's going to start just like that snatch. We're going to drive that weight between those legs. And this time, instead of going all the way up, we're just going to come to that shoulder, okay? Once we come to that shoulder, we will get a nice, good, strong press there. We're going to try to separate that into 2 movements, okay? So your clean press, all right, as opposed to your clean and press. All right, clean and then press, 2 movements. Next movement is going to be our squats. All right, so just like we did in the warm-up, except we've got a weight on one side, just squatting down. Nothing crazy about that one. And then our final movement is going to be a kneeling step up. So we're going to drive that weight up. Whatever hand is up, that foot is going to step back into a kneel. And then we're just going to bring that back up. Okay? It's going to feel real good after all the, at the very end of that round. All right? So we're going to do 5 of each movement, other than that step up, just one of those. So it's going to go 5 snatch, 5 swing, 5 clean and press, 5 squats, and then 1 kneeling step up. And that's the end of one side. Then we'll go to our other arm and do the same thing. 5 snatch, 5 swing, 5 clean and press, 5 squats, and then 1 last kneeling step up on that side. Okay? We're going to try to get 2, maybe 3 rounds of this in, depending how long it'll take us, the pace that you move. We've got about 9 minutes or so to work through it. So, goal is to get what we can, but in a very controlled, very purposeful style. Okay? So let's go ahead and get after it. Whichever hand is your favorite, go ahead and we'll start with that one. So we're going to start with those 5 snatches from those hips, driving that weight all the way up. We want each of those reps to look congruent, exactly the same as the last one. Once we get our 5, we're going to go into those swings. So kettlebell drive out. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to go for that clean to press. Hips go back, pulling up to that shoulder, strong press. Notice I'm always coming back to that front rack position, all right, at the end of each rep. Again, that is to promote equality in each rep so they look exactly the same. Once we get our 5th, we've got those squats. And can keep that other arm up, or you can keep it out, whatever is more comfortable for you. Once we get our 5th, 1 extra little press up, kneel, standing back up. All right. Whew. That was some work on single side. So now we will do the same with the other arm. So that was all on my right arm. I'm going to do all on my left arm. All right. So if you're with me, ready to go, we've got 5 snatches on this opposing side. Keeping that kettlebell or that dumbbell nice and close to the body. Again, coming back to that rack position after each rep. Once we get our 5 snatch, we have our 5 swings. After those 5 swings, 5 clean and press. Clean and then press. Yes, we are in the age. Want to be cautious of any smartwatches or Fitbits on your wrist. Either take those off or rotate those to the inside. Once you get all 5 cleaning and press, we have those squats. And 5. I'm going to drive that weight up. Whatever hand is up, that knee goes down. Pause for a second at the bottom, find that control. Step it back up and rest. All right. So good. So we took about 3 minutes. We should be able to get 2 more rounds in there. And take a quick little break, grab some water if you need it. And we will move forward with the second round. Kind of know what to expect. This next one could possibly move a little bit faster. Now that you know what the order feels like and how the movements will kind of flow into one another. So, if you're ready for it, we will get after it. So starting with those snatches, we're going to start on that first arm. All right, maybe you felt that forearm, that grip strength a little bit. So let's go for snatches on that first side. Again, being very intentional of
Coming back to that rack position each time. Kind of gets us a little bit of momentum, drive into that next rep as well. Just kind of let that weight fall down. 5 swings. 5. And going for 5 cleans with press. So again, when we get to these snatches, swings, cleans, all originating from that hip drive, all right, hinging that hip, throwing those hips forward. Once you get all 5 of the clean and press, we have those squats. Something I've been very intentional these last few weeks are on these squats. All right, avoid just trying to drop into that squat and get out of it. Being very focused on being in control, especially at the bottom of that squat. Once you get all 5 into that kneeling, find that control and step it back up. Quick break, shake it out. Let's go to the other side. Starting with those snatches. Use that hip hinge. All right, try not to do all the work with that shoulder. Rather use those hips, throw those hips forward. Get that weight up. Might have been 6, I don't know. All right, 5 swings. 5 clean with press. You're going to take a quick pause after each clean just to make sure that momentum is out and we are pressing strict. Last one. And these squats. In control in these squats, 5 of them. And 5. Kneeling step up, pull that core tight. Boom. And we'll bring it down. All right. So we got about 2 minutes. So we're going to have to run through this last one a little quickly. So if you're with me, if you're with the challenge, otherwise just take your time and do it to the best of your ability. All right. Take about 10 more seconds, and then we'll get up and get after it. Try to squeeze in full sides here, a minute per side. Think you can do it? Let's see. All right, let's go for it. Starting with those snatches. I'm still going to come to that front rack each time. Just going to try to flow these movements together just a little bit more seamlessly. 4. There's 5 going to swings. Still using that hip hinge. After our swings, we have those cleans to press. Clean to press. All right, watch that low back here as we press. Sometimes when we get a little bit tired, we tend to lean back when we press. We want to focus on pulling those abs in nice and tight, keeping them strong. After those 5 clean and press, we have our squats. Again, nice and controlled. Each rep here to that kneel, strong position, and back up. All right, how we do? Right on time. We got one more side here. Let's get after it, starting with those snatch. Keeping that weight nice and close. We're going to finish strong here, folks. Last time around, last little bit of work here. 5 snatch going into those 5 swings. After those swings, that clean to press. Definitely feel that forearm starting to burn after those press squats. There's our fourth, last one, number 5. Pressing out one last kneel. Back up, and time. All right, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thanks for joining some Midday Equipped. We do have abs class coming up right in a few minutes. Just hop over on the other Skype room. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.